Hey, okay, we're live. Alright, so after about a week, I couldn't go live last week because I was too busy, and now we are continuing where we left off last week. Also, please let me know if I'm lagging or you can hear me, because I changed some settings for the streaming, change the quality so you can see the details a bit better, but I'm not sure if the stream is running as smoothly. Hey, Artedas. Hello, Render Rights. Hello. Ota. Roscoe. Evoco. Thank you. Hey, Anto. Quality is fine. Hey, thank you. Okay. So if you've been following the streams, last week we imported the V-Face maps, the 3 channels that were red, green and blue, into ZBrush, and now tonight we are adding our own wrinkles using custom brushes that I also showed you the settings for the custom brush, so you can make one for yourself. But I think I can share with you the brush, so if you don't know how to make a new brush in ZBrush, you can just copy the file that I will upload on the Google Drive folder. Hey Whiskey, thank you. Hey Govind. Hey Tushar. Hey Eba. Where are you based? I'm from Iran. Hey Isaac. Alright, so we broke down the details into separate layers. The RGB channel from Displacement are each imported in a separate layer, and also we made a different layer for wrinkles that we are adding using our custom brushes. So we're going to use referenced photos to make sure that the wrinkles that we are adding on top of those, on top of that displacement map, is accurate. And I'm just using the same spotlight that I use for the likeness sculpting, using the same technique to overlay the reference on top of the model. Let's also turn on perspective and angle of view. I think 20 might be fine, but we have to test. Sebastian, that's Paco de Lucia, yes. Okay, let's change the angle of view to 10 because I think the photo is looking flatter compared to the model. And I'm not making any changes to the likeness. I'm not tweaking the model. I'm just, for this file specifically, I'm only working on the skin details. So you shouldn't change the model itself. If you want to make changes or improvements to the likeness, you can do it later, but not in this file. This file is just for the displacement. Alright, let's just turn off perspective. I think it's causing more problem right now. So let's just forget about the perspective and just making sure the eyes are aligned with the model. Okay, I think it's good for now. Also, somebody asked how I change this camera views just with one click. So you go to, on the top bar menu, you go to document menu, and there's this section named ZBrush properties. If you click on that, you can access this different camera perspectives that you can just save for later. If you're using reference photos, you can just save into this channels. I don't know what you call it, channels or cameras. You can just save, and then if you change the view and then click back, you can just quickly switch back to that perspective. Hey Mahdis, how are you creating those details manually? I mean, this is not manually, this is just texture and XYZ VFace. Alright. So what I want to add, let me just quickly show you in Photoshop what I'm talking about, because it's easier to show. For example, these wrinkles around the eye, we are adding these crow's feet. These are called crow's feet. And then the scowl lines, the nose bridge line. Again, the crow's feet, the wrinkles around the eye, the forehead lines. So these are what we're going to add on top of the model. But I'm not directly just using a sculpting to add those details. First, I'm going to mark those lines on the model with a paint tool. So what I mean is that let me make sure the camera view is perfectly aligned with the model. Okay, let's clear custom camera 1 and then so using a standard brush, I'm turning off Z add and turning on RGB because I don't want to, for now I'm just going to mark those lines on the model with a paintbrush. Let's change the size to 5, I think is fine. change the color to black, or you can use any color. You can use red if you want. Is that brush the same Chris Costa used, like improved them? I think it's similar. It's not the same, but it's similar. All right. So I'm looking at this line in the middle of forehead. And it's not doing anything for some reason. Oh, it's because we have texture on. If you remember when we added those displacements to those layers, we had to make a new texture. When you have texture on, you can't just poly paint. So I have to turn that off. Let's try again. Now we can see that. Okay. Or we can do something else. We can make a new layer. Let's turn this off, like make a new layer and renaming it paint. And instead of adding lines, I'm just projecting the reference on top of the model. I think this way it's going to be easier. Okay, let's do this. Let's just project the texture, project the reference photo on top of the model. So we don't have to go back and forth between the reference on and off. Let's change the material to a skin shade so it's easier to see what's going on. All right. Yeah, I think this way it's easier. So you can also turn it on and off if you want. All right, now I can add my wrinkles, but make sure that you switch to that previous layer so you're not working in the wrong layer. So using the custom standard brush, I'm adding my wrinkle just on top of the texture. It's hard to see, but if I turn the paint layer off, you can see that I have added a new wrinkle just accurately in position. Okay, let's add the same, use the same method to add all the wrinkles. We have some of the wrinkles above the eyebrows. Around the eyes. Hey Zainab, thank you. Hey Nitish, I think, thank you. He was so good, love. Entre dos Agos. Yes, he is. One of my favorite guitar players, yes. Some of the details are not easy to see because the reference photo wasn't very high quality, so you just have to use as much as we can, but it's not gonna be perfect. But if you're working on a different subject that has lots of high quality reference photos available, it's gonna be easier to use this method to accurately project all the details. I'm zooming in and out because when I zoom in it gets pixelated. It's not easy to see, but it's more clear from distance. Okay, let me see if I can find a better reference, because this one is probably not enough. Okay, for the forehead lines I have this one, which is also lower quality, but the contrast is higher, so it's easier to see some of those details. Here we have one line here. Passing by, love the work, thank you. Message, I'm not sure I can pronounce that. What was your favorite part about making this? This one particularly, I think I'm really glad that I could share everything live, so it's a new experience. I've had tutorials that I recorded offline, but this is my first time going live and sharing all the steps one by one. While streaming, so I think that's probably my favorite part. I think we need more details here. Salam Milad. A long time no stream. Yeah, after a week. We love your work. Thank you for this live. Thank you, Lala. Yeah, last week I was busy. I couldn't go live. Next week I'm also busy, but I'm not sure. Maybe I can go live next week. I'm not sure, but for the next few weeks, I'm probably not. I'm not gonna go live as regularly as the past couple of weeks because working on a few projects that I have to deliver on time and they have deadlines, so that's why but I think before, what day is it? Is it February 16th? I think by April we can finish working on this model. Probably. No promises, but probably. Mid or late April, I think this one is going to be finished. Alright, let's turn off paint layer and see. Also change the material to what we had. I think it was basic material. Okay. So we have some details. Of course it's not perfect because I just quickly added those details to just to make sure everything is in place. But now we need to blend these details with a texture in XYZ map to make sure that they stand out, they don't get lost in behind those skin pores and okay, we also have this, which is a different angle and it gives us a better view over the crow lines, crow's feet wrinkles. So let's also use that on Okay, we have this one too, which could be useful. I missed the first part of the stream. How did you get to this point in the process? Did you sculpt the mesh first and unwrap the image? Yeah, everything, all the steps are recorded. If you wanna watch from the beginning, you can go on my YouTube channel and everything is available. I basically streamed the whole process from modeling to projecting the textures, and now we are adding our own details on top of those textures. So it's a mixture of texture and XYZ maps and our own details. Alright, let's turn on perspective. I think this one needs it. Okay, let's save a camera view and we have this. Oh, we need to be in record mode. Thank you, Shinta. Paco de Lucio, yes. Alright. Let's add another layer for paint 2 so we don't have to go back and forth. Let's again project the model, project the reference photo on top of the model, and then change the material, the skin shade, and using the same method, adding more details. I mean, some of the details don't match because it's hard to get everything 100% accurately, but we're just gonna do our best to have everything in place. This one. For the lips we have some detail that we can use. Also on the chin we have some wrinkles. Here. Off-topic question, I'm seeing some guitars in the background. Do you like rock and metal by any chance? Yeah, I love it. I occasionally play the guitar, but I'm not a pro by any means, just for fun. but I do listen to rock, metal. I mean, I listen to a wide range of different music genres, but yeah, some of my favorite bands are rock and metal, like Pink Floyd, Queen, and Nirvana. The Doors. I don't remember all of them, but when I was a teenager, I just knew all the songs by name, and I knew which song was written by which member of the band. So for example, for Pink Floyd, I knew which one of their songs were written by David Gilmour, which one was written by Roger Waters. But nowadays, I'm kind of, it's cloudy and lost. I'm not really following the news anymore. I'm not as informed or as updated as I used to be. Love your work. There is a plugin called Ref Switcher for ZBrush in Artist Station Marketplace, where you can save your image reference and focal length whenever you open ZBrush you like. Yeah, I think somebody mentioned before, when I was working on the likeness, somebody mentioned this plugin, but I never had the chance to try it. But I mean, you can just do the same using the uplink properties, or uplink. I'm not sure if you really need a plugin, especially if it's a paid plugin. I'm not sure if it's really necessary. What's the reason for giving this knowledge for free and not behind a paywall? I don't know. I think it's just a way of giving back to the community. I mean, over the past few years since I started my 3D career, I've had so much support from people, and mostly strangers on social media. So I thought it's just a way to thank them and to give back and to share with you what I've learned, to share with those who've been following me for so many years. I think it's just the easiest way, more accessible way to give back. Hey Atom. Zenmeth Mithwan Dada. I'm not sure what you mean. Would you endorse me on LinkedIn? That will be my honor. What? I don't know you. What do you mean endorse you? Have we worked together? Because endorsing means if you worked with someone, then you write an endorsement for their resume so they can use, but I'm not sure if we have worked. Hey Ida. Salam Shukufa, merci. Thanks for every bit of educational content you share. Do you have a drawing background before 3D? Yes, I do. I used to draw and I used to paint. I was a digital painter before I became a 3D artist, and it really helped. I'm not saying necessary that you should learn how to draw before becoming a 3D artist, but it definitely gives you an advantage. Alright, I think we can't get any more details from this reference. Let's see if we can use another one. Okay, let's see this one. I will be live for another 20 minutes, so if you guys have any questions, you can ask. Let's change the perspective to 5. Okay, let's add another layer. And again, paint and project the reference on top of this. Let's also save a camera view. All right. Let's switch back to the wrinkle layer and then try to find more details. You can see that I'm not sure if I should turn on symmetry. I think I have to look and see if I can find another reference from the opposite angle, because this one is just, oh yeah, I think I found, I think this one is good for the opposite direction. So let's just focus on the left side for now, and then we can just import that reference and do the same thing for that side. Do you think in real life in normal people's eyes are deviated a little bit? What do you mean? Deviated. Well, I know what the word means, but I don't know what you mean by people's eyes being deviated. Hey Rana, thank you. Yeah, it's Paco Phones. Right. Yeah, we have this line on the left side of the nose. Alright, let's import or maybe let's just add the rest of the details without projection, just use from Mexico. Thank you. Maybe soon Cameron via Isla. I'm not sure who that is. Alright, let's change the material to basic. And yeah, I think let's just forget about projections and let's add the rest of the details. Just eyeballing the references because I think we have added enough. And from now on, I think it's easier to just eyeball the rest. And also with different expressions, the wrinkles get stretched and they change. They're not fixed in one spot, so it's hard to use different projections, and sometimes they don't align. I mean, there's so many lines here, I'm not sure which one of them should be removed. So I think at this point we're better off just adding the rest of the details manually. Alright, let's let me have a reference on my second monitor.
as days passes by, and most long for a place that they never find. I'm afraid I wake up when I die, and it is too late to climb any mountain. Time is of the essence.
Is Marie hard to learn? Can you tell us how to set a mindset to leave Marie or any course recommended? I think if you look at my previous live streams, you can find the session that I was working with Marie, and I did my best to walk you through some of the basics and to introduce the interface. I think if you watch that, it's not that hard to learn. You can just learn Marie in a week. It's not really that complicated. Especially if you have any experience working with Photoshop, there are many similarities. A famous flamenco singer, he worked with Paco and some stuff. Oh, okay. I didn't know the singer, sorry. Hi from Turkey. You're one of the talented people. I'm happy that you're sharing your knowledge. Thank you. Thank you, Arslan, I think. You have the eyes for the end, just the hollow space. Yeah, we're going to, for now it's just, we don't have any eyes for now, but after we're done with the base model, we're going to add the eyes and then work on the textures for those eyes. I'm just using the same reference on my second monitor. Basically, I'm using this reference, but it's on my second monitor. You can't see it, but it's the same photo. It's the exact same photo. Merci Ali, merci Hussein. Are eyes absolutely horizontal? No, I mean nothing in real life is perfect. And each person is different, so you have to just look at the references for the subject that you're working on and judge based on that. Okay, let me turn on the XYZ map so I can make sure that the details that I'm adding are, the lines are deep enough so they stand out. They don't get buried. We also have Geometry HD, but I'm not using that for now because it's too early for turning the GeoHD on. Right now I'm just trying to make sure that I'm marking all the details and I have everything in place, and then after that we can turn on GeoHD and add more subtle details. The depth, I like how patient you are with each wrinkle. My wrinkles are always 2D from the beginning. This is a great tip. Yeah, I think if you first just mark everything and make sure that everything is in place, it gets easier to, you can save some time later so you don't have to do that much correction and waste any time reversing the details you've added to replace them. But if you mark them first and then make sure everything is in place, then after that you can just focus on perfecting those details, adding more depth. And you have to be patient. That's something that, I mean, patience is something you need to develop. It's part of your skill set. If you then don't learn how to be patient, then it definitely affects your quality.
I get lost inside my thoughts, and when I start to think, oh, the Tahoe close, it starts to end up on the brink. I tried so hard, but all these scars, they cut so deep, I bleed. I fell so fast from heaven, it's like someone clipped my
My likenesses are always turn out stylized for that reason. Yes, I think that's one of the mistakes that many artists make, that they exaggerate on details. And if you exaggerate, that's exactly why, as you said, it's going to look stylized, not photoreal. Always worth watching real talent at work. Thank you, Alex. Hey, Arib. Is modeling still needed after Marie? I think I must have missed something. I think you've created a study where you can create a map and enter details on it. Yeah, as I said, we use texture in XYZ, and then we clean those textures inside Marie, and then export it from Marie and import it to ZBrush, and now we are adding our own details. Texture in XYZ is just the base for your displacement map. You can't just use texture in XYZ without any extra step. I mean, especially if you're working on likeness. If you're just making a generic character, maybe, but if you're working on someone's likeness, then you have to make sure that every single detail on the face matches the reference. Because this is also part of the likeness. Someone's skin is also part of their visual identity. If you get everything right, the eyes, the nose, the ears, if you get even all the proportions correctly, but if you don't spend time making sure that the skin details match the reference, then it's not going to look correct at the end. I think this line needs to be deeper out, so let me change the intensity from 6 to 8. Okay, I'm going to work on this side too, and then that's it for today, because we have been live for about an hour, over an hour actually. So I think that's enough for today, but let me just quickly check the left eye. And then next time we are going to finish working on the displacement map, probably, and then we can move on and export the maps, go back to Maya, and then make some shaders, connect all the textures and see where we're at, because right now we're not really sure if the likeness needs work, if the textures need work. So we need some renders, some WIP renders to make sure that we are on the right track. Also, there are some details here that need to be fixed. Thank you, Rana. Thank you. What do you think of AI? Why is it that every time someone at the very last minute comes and asks me about AI? I mean, it's happened 3 or 4 times. I think AI is great. It could have both negative and positive impacts on the industry. Negative because it makes the whole process, the whole value of art questionable, or maybe makes people desensitized towards art in general.